A guy goes to Australia and discovers that it isn't real. That is my latest video as of recording this right now, and today I'm going to be going over a bit about how I made that video. I have not scripted this episode at all, so editing me is going to have a fun time making this all make sense. Okay, so where to begin? I don't, off the top of my head, know where the inspiration for the video came from. I know there were these two videos that I watched and they kind of gave me the spark, I think, and I did link them in the description of the original video, but my video is very different to both of them, although also similar in many ways as well. But anyway, you're obviously not interested in that, you're more interested in how I made the video. You may look at it and just think, well, you just stood in front of a green screen and did it. Well, there is a lot more to it than that. Now, an interesting fact to note is that I didn't actually use a single proper green screen or blue screen for the entire video. DaVinci Resolve has this feature called Magic Mask, which allows you to cut out certain elements of a video without having a green screen there, if that makes sense. I've used a similar thing before on this old software called Runway.ml, but I don't think they let you use that for free anymore, and I don't know if this is on the free version of DaVinci Resolve, but I do have the paid version, so I don't care what's on the free version. Basically, this meant that I just had to draw a couple lines over my character and it would cut out everything else in the video, and that made it a lot easier for me, especially since I don't really have the room to put up a proper green screen or blue screen with appropriate lighting. Now, of course, doing it this way came with a lot of issues, but the main thing is that I just wanted to experiment with something different, so I didn't care too much about making it look like a massive Hollywood blockbuster. I just wanted to experiment with something different, and I did. And I'm probably not going to ever do it this way again because it was a nightmare. Now, the feature itself is very useful, and I've used it in moderation before for other things, and it is very useful. But it is a bit annoying because the AI is not quite advanced enough to always know things. So for example, if I have myself walk in a lot of the drafts it would pick up something from the background or something, and even though I would tell it, don't include this, it would include it again a few frames later, or it would be really jittery. I think you notice in the final film, the edges are all kind of flashy. They're all kind of shaky looking because the software didn't do a great job at times, and I tried my best to fix it by going over it for countless hours, literally staying up till 2 in the morning on some nights just to get it done. Yeah, I need to fix my sleep schedule. And also, of course, doesn't help that I have big, puffy, frizzy hair, and it seems to not do a good job with puffy, frizzy hair, as you may notice in a few shots. But overall, I'm not going to trash the feature. It's a great feature to have, and I'm glad I have it, and I think I had a fun time using it. It's just I'm probably not going to use it this way again. Now, moving on to maybe the backgrounds, you may be wondering a bit about how they came to be. So I think I'm going to go in the order which they are shown. So, I mean, there's a bit of stock footage that I found online from Pixabay and YouTube and wherever else. I think they were the only two websites I used, and they just play. But then you see me in a plane, and the plane was from a 3D model which I found. Now, I don't have any software that can really view 3D models properly, so I didn't pay for the plane. I went inside of it on the little preview thing they had, and I just took a bunch of screenshots, and then I matched up the closest one to the footage that I filmed. I should have maybe taken the screenshots first and then filmed it to look like that, but I didn't. So there. In one of the final stages of editing, I cut out the windows so I could put the background there, which again was just stock footage of outside a plane. Another interesting thing to note, back to the Magic Mask thing, I did originally film it, me sitting on a chair, and I intended to keep the chair there, but then I decided somewhere along the line that the chair looked very out of place among all the other CGI generated chairs, so I had to try and remove that. And because I mentioned the Magic Masking tool isn't perfect, it didn't do the world's best job at trying to get rid of the chair. But I don't know, whatever. In like 10 years, I'll do a visual remaster and it will look a hell of a lot better. Now, the backgrounds for the so-called Not-Stralia were photos taken by me. I went to a field just down the road from my house, and I just took a bunch of photos in that field. I remember my brother and my dad actually came along as well, and that was a fun little time. And yeah, I took a bunch of photos, and then over the course of a couple weeks, I went into Photoshop, I changed the color and everything. I actually separated the sky and the terrain into 2 separate layers so I could get the color to be very mismatched and very odd looking. And then after that, I added my own little features to it, like I downloaded some alien looking trees online and put them in there. I took a photo of this thing that my dad made when he was in art college, and again just stuck that there. Then I just added things like a bit of extra shading and whatnot, and I made some decent backgrounds, I think, although they do maybe lack a bit of dimension, but whatever. Getting towards the end of the film, I think I was kind of rushing myself because I wanted to get it out pretty quickly. I filmed the majority of it between mid-July to late July, and I think a couple bits in early August, apart from the bit I redid, which was in September. And it was coming to September, I was going back to college soon, and I am back there now. And I wanted to get it out preferably before I went back, but I didn't, so I was thinking to myself, right, I don't want to be stuck with college work and this at the same time, so I'm just going to get this out, put it behind me, because I don't care, this is not important enough. So I told my channel it'll be out next weekend, so I rushed myself to get it out that weekend. And I do think that parts of it don't feel finished because of that, but I don't want to have to spend any more time on that video anymore because college work and everything else. I just want to put that behind me. It was only meant to be a stupid little short film. It wasn't meant to be anything serious, but I spent 2 months on it now, so I need to just put it behind me. And after editing this, I'm probably going to put it behind me for quite some time. Now, just for some other random facts about this film. Of course, in total, there are 5 characters in this film, and the first things I filmed was obviously my stuff with me and the friend, and actually these 2 bits here look like they were filmed well apart, but they were filmed within the same hour. I just changed the lighting settings on my camera, changed the lighting in the room a little bit. I think I turned on my room light, closed my curtains, and then also changed my clothes. They were filmed the same day. I've used that hack in many videos before. I like to get videos filmed really quickly. I'm quite a quick director, so I get things done quickly. And I'm pretty sure the other scene as well, the very end scene, was also filmed the exact same day. I'm not actually sure off the top of my head, but I'll go back and edit some text saying whether it was or not. And now, the thing at the very end was him closing his eyes sideways. That was a nightmare to do because I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't even know how I was going to do it when I filmed it or anything, so I was improvising. I tried loads of different things, just playing around on DaVinci Resolve, and then I eventually just screenshot every frame, went through it frame by frame, went on Photoshop and drew their eyelids. Well, not drew, like I rotated and... Okay, so I just realised how awfully I explained it in this video, so let me try and explain it again. So I screenshot the frames of me closing and opening my eyes again, and then I went over them frames in Photoshop and I did things like selecting the eyelids, rotating them, resizing them, using the healing tool, using the colour tools and all other sort of things to try and make it look like my eyes were closing sideways. And I did that for the frames of me opening and closing, and then on the ones with the eyes closed I just motion tracked it onto the eyes frame by frame, which I think was a bit easier than trying to do it every single frame again for a different position. But yeah, it wasn't simple, so it's hard to explain it in a simple way, but I explained it really awfully in the original video, so there you go. And it actually looks decent, to be fair. Another fun thing you may not have noticed actually is, in that scene, on the TV, you actually can see the reflection of the other person. It's very faint, but I deliberately added that on there. I just got the footage, put it on there, flipped it, changed the opacity and the lighting a little bit, and just subtly put it on the TV, so that anyone with a very attentive eye could notice it. Ignoring there were loads of flaws with the editing and the rest of the video, this bit, you can notice that's something not many people would do. I need to stop praising myself. This film isn't worth that much praise. Anyway, there's not really much to say about this film. Obviously I shaved my beard for the role, because obviously I filmed all my stuff as the main characters, and then I went to do the secret agent character. I kept just a moustache, and I actually kept that for a couple of days just to see what it'd be like. Then I went completely clean shaven to do the flight attendant. The way I did that was I did try doing a female voice, but I realised I couldn't really do it, so I just messaged one of my friends saying, hey, could you do these lines for me? And she did them, and turns out she actually has the same microphone as I have, so that made it flow even better. But yeah, once she gave me a few takes of the lines, I mixed them all together to pick the one ultimate take, and then I just lip synced a few times to it. One thing that annoys me a lot is lip syncing that isn't good. Like, I like lip syncing, it's a good talent, but when it's not properly on time, or there's subtleties in body movement that don't make sense with the audio they're lip syncing to, it just really annoys me. So I did try my best to make the lip sync work the best it could, and I think it worked okay. Overall, it was an interesting thing to work on. I don't want to quite say it was fun to work on, although there were definitely parts where I think I was having a lot of fun. I mean, listening to the music tracks I downloaded for this, it was really fun. I'm probably using one of them now. I like music, so hearing all these fun little things was pretty fun. Watching back parts of it made me laugh. Probably not in the way I should be laughing, but they did make me laugh. And it is an interesting thing. I think it's definitely something I would put on a portfolio to say, I've tried something different, and I'm happy I tried it. Although I'm probably not going to do anything quite like this again. I have kind of planned an idea for a sequel of sorts, but I'm going to see how well this video performs first. It's only been out for about 45 minutes as of me recording this right now, so I can't say how it's going to perform. But the trailers for it did better than any of my other videos around the time that they were released, so hopefully this video should do well as well. Anyway, that's pretty much everything. I don't think there's anything else to say. As I said, I didn't script or make any notes for this episode, so if I am forgetting anything, I'll just add an extra section somewhere. I guess I could say about the pill, I just got a real pill that I never took. I have some pills which I never took, so I have them. They're probably expired now, so I just held that. And yeah, it was really just going over it consistently to make it look decent. And there were definitely some shots that looked really good, I thought, but then there were some shots that just maybe didn't quite. Oh, actually, the little castle thingy, whatever it's meant to be, the palace lair, whatever, I never really specify what it is. It doesn't matter, it's down to interpretation. The place that the queen is at, I actually just built a little set with some old toy bits I had. I don't know how many of you were watching my channel back then, but when I made stuff like Solar Zombie or Scientific Sammy, I built these sets for these little toy characters. I just did the same thing, but instead of putting toys in it and animating it, I just took photos of it and stuck me and my sister in it. And of course I did little octave effects on her voice. I don't think either are actually a full octave higher or lower than her voice, but it was a nice effect, although I think I should have added a bit more reverb maybe. But yeah, that's about everything. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I don't know how long this How I Made video is going to be, but I've been recording for over 17 minutes, so editing me better do a good job cutting this down to a decent length, because most of my How I Mades are not longer than 10 minutes, I don't think. But anyway, yeah, hope you all enjoyed the original video. Hope you enjoyed this little explanation video, even though there isn't really much I think I could say. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye.